Hello everybody, my name is Zen, and it is Thursday, March 22nd, 2012. You're watching GLHF episode number 5, where we get to play whatever game we want on Thursday of every week. Obviously, I think you could know by now what game we're checking out this week, with the epic music crescendoing. Oh, good intro music. Perfect. Thank you, Diablo music. Yes, that is right. We're looking at Diablo 3. This is the beta. I've had the beta access for since November, or forever. And just before we get started, the reason why I'm doing this, I figured it was a good, I don't know, a good place to start this week, considering just recently the game was announced to be released on May 15th, which I'm excited for. I'm not going to describe what this game is. I think everybody knows what Diablo is at this point. And if you don't, just go play Diablo 2. It's really great. It inspired games like Torchlight and Darkspore and stuff. It's a really cool genre and a really good game in general. So I'm going to in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at every single one of the classes briefly. We're not going to spend too much time on them because I'm pretty sure most of you guys have seen them all. And we're going to start with a Witch Doctor. Just, you know, making a character. I already have characters made. We're going to make this guy a hardcore character because he's awesome, and I think we should name him, I was going to go with Morgan Freeman, but, and if you saw him without the mask, you would understand why, but I'm just going to go with Zen, if that is okay with this. Apparently it is. So let us, before we get there, they do have options to customize like a flag because, I mean, they have all their multiplayer aspects. You got achievements and stuff, just like you would expect from a normal game to come out nowadays. It's a AAA title. So let's start. Okay, so here we go.
The air is heavy with death.
Basically, it's the exact same thing you would think. It is Diablo. It's a better looking Diablo, because Diablo 2 came out so long ago. I remember playing it when I was in like middle school, and I'm 23 now, so I mean that was quite a while ago. And I played that a lot. In the original games, I leveled up basically only an assassin. That was probably my favorite class.
The spirits tell me go.
Yeah. Nobody cares about the story because I'm sure by now everybody has seen it with all the beta videos that are out. So, yes, I played an assassin. I didn't go with the typical trap build that everybody used to go with. I went with an attack speed clone build, which made me completely unbeatable. It was amazing. So, if you haven't seen the newest stuff from Diablo, basically they changed how the UI works down here and like how some of the skill system works and stuff since the like previous major build, and it's really consolified. It's super console oriented. Everything about it is what's the word I want to choose here? Focused for the Xbox and PlayStation if it comes out on those, which they're planning to have it come out on those very, systems. I think for Xbox and PlayStation, but I mean the things they've done to simplify all this I think is really stupid, and I'll get into that in a minute.
I did.
Yeah. Nobody cares. And if you do care about the story, well, I would suggest checking out one of the more major channels that are out there, because they all cover it. Like, I think Jesse Cox was probably the most in-depth look. So, okay, here we go. So, now I can start talking a little bit about this class. So, the Witch Doctor is pretty much the Necromancer. I mean, if you want to transfer classes over, that's what it is from Diablo 2. So the Witch Doctor has a lot of abilities to like summon things. Like this I just got his Grasp of the Dead. Summons ghoulish hands out of the ground to slow and entangle enemies. That should sound familiar. It's very WoW-ish from the Death Knight. I have Poison Darts. Now, the Witch Doctor utilizes mana. Each class utilizes a different resource, so the mana system is pretty much as you would expect. Let's use my hands. I can't wait for this game to get optimized, by the way. It doesn't matter if you have it on the highest settings or the lowest settings, it gets really, what's the word I'm looking for? Not twitchy, but it tends to drop frames pretty often, and it's just because it's not optimized, so don't expect that in the full release. I do have to mention this is the beta, so a lot of this can actually change before the game goes live on the 15th. I mean, they have up to the day before because of the digital thing. So there's the hands. It just slows them. I can poison all these guys and they'll die on the way to me, which is great. That's fantastic. I love when things die. So also in Diablo 3, a lot of stuff is procedurally generated, if you didn't know that. So like these major areas, like the one I'm in right now, the starting area is the exact same. Every time you come through, it's going to be the exact same, except for different areas you can actually go into. And what I mean by that is like little dungeon areas, like this. Perfect example, perfect timing, little dungeon area. Sometimes this won't be here. If you're going through like on your 4th or 5th playthrough, it may be a completely different cellar, and I totally didn't mean to go in here right away, so let's go back out here and kill these guys. Yeah, it may be a completely different cellar the next time you come through. So I think that's super cool. So you're pretty much never going to have the exact same experience playing through. And a lot of the dungeons are also procedurally generated and are quite random. They have common themes. Like certain stairways will always lead to a dead end, and you'll notice that like certain types of stairways will always lead to pretty much what is a dead end. But other times, you'll notice that certain stairways will always lead to where you need to go. So you can kind of do some guesswork and figure out like, okay, well, I need to typically go towards these types of staircases, and that's just what I've seen so far. That's just the way the procedurally generated stuff works, but that's how all the dungeons are in this game. And I'm getting all the intro stuff of the game out of the way right now because at the end of the video, I'm going to announce an idea that we have and may carry out when the game is released as far as content goes, because I think it would be really awesome. But we'll get there. Stay tuned and you'll hear the awesome idea and / announcement of awesomeness. Also, the inventory system is pretty much what you would expect. It's not so much inventory Tetris as it used to be, which is great because that was awful. I'm not upset about them changing that at all. There's some things that they've changed that are really good. It brings the game into the 21st century, really, from Diablo 2 and Diablo 1. And there's a lot of things they've changed that have made the game a lot better, in my opinion. And there's a lot of things that they've changed that have made it worse. For instance, this interface down here, the idea that you can have 4 extra abilities plus these 2 bound to your mouse, and then like your health potion, and then what would be a mana potion right there. I think that's great. I think that's amazing that they have that, like all the different abilities. But the fact that you can only have 4 abilities, right, is very consolified or whatever word you want to use there. That's kind of a pretty made-up word to begin with. But what I'm trying to say is basic RPGs nowadays allow you to have whatever abilities you want, and pretty much you can utilize all of them. There are some examples where they don't do that, but for the most part, most RPGs actually allow you to have complete customization over your abilities and which ones you want to use at any given time, and have access to switch between them instantly. Like, you may have a limited bar, but you have access to all of them, as opposed to this where I would actually have to I would have to go to my skills window. There we go. And if I wanted to change this to like fire bats when I got that, it has like a weird cooldown. It's just I don't like it. So there's things I like about the new skill systems and things I don't, and I can go into that for hours, but I won't because I'm pretty sure you guys already know what I'm trying to talk about there. As far as other things that I really like that they've changed, I like that later on, which you will see, the town portal isn't the scrolls anymore, because that was just useless inventory space that wasn't needed, right?
The mother
Yay.
sleep once more.
Levels up. Gotta love them. Corpse spiders. Yes, I think I will. Okay. Okay, so anyways, as I was saying, I think the inventory system is a lot better.
They're everywhere.
Oh, and I can't use it yet. See, that's the little cooldown thing I was talking about. If you switch between it, there is an arbitrary cooldown. But I guess that helps them balance the PvP, which I'm not a fan of. That's another thing. I'm like, I don't know why they needed to add PvP. It seems like an added-on thing. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't know. So I can't be too objective about that, I guess. But there are different things like, well, hold on, let me go back to the PvP thing. In some games, multiplayer is really good as PvP. But I think, just to clarify, I feel like this one is really tacked on. Like, it didn't need to be there in the first place. Like, you could have had it just within the normal game. And I don't expect them ever to make it like an e-sport. So, because it'll never be fair, I don't think any class will be completely balanced with the others. So that's just my quick thoughts on that. I'm just going to get up here to where I need to go for this quest, and then we'll go back to town and switch to a different class.
Diablo's evil lingers everywhere here.
I think you get the idea. This is pretty much what you would expect out of Diablo if you were looking to get back into Diablo when this came out. I mean, just from my beta impressions, and I've been in, like I said, I've been in beta since November. I think I would definitely. Sorry, I'm trying to focus here. I'm trying to not die. I just realized that I'm on hardcore, and I'll explain that in a second as well. But just from my impressions of the beta, I would highly suggest buying this game. It's really good so far from what we've seen. Of course, we can only get up to the Skeleton King, so I don't know if it'll get really bad later on. But the multiplayer, you know, for the main story is really good, and everything else is really good. The story's pretty good. I've just heard it like 1.5 million times. The classes are really fun. Like, everything about it's really good. So just off of the beta alone, I would say this is probably going to be a good game when it comes out.
Thank you for your help.
But nor should she.
Okay, now that I've done that and picked up this quest,
Let us search for
We'll need to open.
we will go and switch classes, and I'll be back in a second, and we'll be on the next part of this main quest, I guess. Or I might skip ahead a little bit. We'll find out. I'll be back next with the Barbarian. No, the Wizard. We'll go with Wizard. We'll be back with the Wizard. Okay, we're back with the Wizard? I think I called it a Sorcerer last time. Back with the Wizard. Real quick, the Wizard uses Arcane Power instead of Mana. So that's kind of, it's pretty much the exact same as Mana, but it uses Arcane Power.
Come, let us search. We'll need to.
So I'll show you a little bit of this class as well. Just a little bit. And then we'll move on to the next one. I think I've said all I need to about the Witch Doctor. You get like zombies and stuff later, which are really cool.
She died when I was very young. I was raised by Uncle Deckard.
Dang it. Hold on. Let me
I'm told he was a great warrior.
let me switch out that ability because that one I did not even mean to have on there. So I've got like a Frost Nova, an Arcane Orb, and my like Magic Missile. Just kind of like my main attack. The Arcane Power just regenerates over time, which is, you know, it's nice. It doesn't seem to go too low during a fight, so I haven't had really many issues with that. And I think all of my characters are hardcore, which means if they die, they're done. I mean, if they die, they're completely gone. They're deleted, which is a hardcore character, which I think is really fun. And that is only unlocked once you've hit level 10 with a normal character, which is wise. I'm glad they did that. And it even pops up with like a giant scroll when you go to make a hardcore character. It's like, are you sure? You're never ever gonna get this character back if it dies. If it dies, you're done. And you're like, yes, I want the challenge. And pick up all the nice loot from the loot explosion. What did we get? A sword, which I can disenchant and all that fun stuff, or whatever you want to call it. Salvage, I think is what it's called.
Here's
Leah.
the key, and my mother's.
I will send
Yeah.
you.
Complete that quest and go upstairs. Just briefly, I forgot to mention, I actually turned push to talk off for this game because my fingers cramp up if I'm holding my push to talk button and trying to play this because I click madly Like, my clicking is insane when I play this game. You can probably hear it. And that's fine, because now you're going to notice it for the rest of the video, and I don't care. I know I click a lot. I know I can hold the button. Let me just make that clear. I know I can hold the button, but it's not as fun. I feel like I'm doing more damage if I click. Like, for some reason, arbitrarily, I'm just going to do higher numbers and hit better if I click madly, so that's what I do. So, it's just the way I play my game. It's cool. I've got a Naga. This thing will like never wear down as long as I, you know, keep it clean. So I can click all I want. My mouse isn't affected. That's all I have to say about that. As far as the wizard goes, I'm not too keen on the wizard. I don't really like it. Actually, I don't like the wizard at all. It's my least favorite class. I like the sorceress in Diablo 2, but this is just... It feels really weak to me, is what it feels like. I feel like the other classes completely overpowered it, and I haven't really played a lot of the wizard. I mean, this is my only wizard I have. And what level is it? Level 5. There you go. So I haven't really done a whole lot with the wizard in general. So I'm not too disappointed in this being the class that I hate. Mostly because the other classes are really good, and I can bear with never playing the wizard. I'm fine with that. Oop. There we go. And this is one of the main dungeons. There's a lot of destructibles and stuff in here. Like, I think I can... Oh, never mind. My magic can't destroy things. Do that, kill those zombies. I mean, the wizard does have really cool abilities, and I'm sure the wizard can get really powerful. It's just I haven't seen it. And to be honest, I'm going to be playing hardcore characters pretty much only. And if I'm doing that, my philosophy on that is I'm going to play a class that I feel really comfortable playing, because then I won't die. If I feel comfortable playing something, the chances of me dying go way down. For example, I feel really comfortable playing my bounty hunter on Star Wars. Therefore, I die a whole lot less. I feel uncomfortable playing my smuggler. Therefore, I die a lot when I'm recording. Just a fact of life. This is how it... I mean, that's pretty much everybody right there. If you were a top-tier StarCraft player and you were uncomfortable playing Terran, you knew how to play it, but you were uncomfortable playing it in comparison to, like, Protoss, I'm sure you would lose a lot of, like, tournaments and stuff if that's what you tried doing, was playing Terran. So it's like... That's just my philosophy on hardcore, like, mode and gaming and stuff. If I don't want to die, I'll probably play the class that I think is the best, because I'll probably do the best with that class anyways. Even if there was like a super overpowered class and I couldn't play it because I sucked at it for whatever reason, I would probably still do better with the class I feel more comfortable with. Case in point. This little arcane orb ability is really great. I think it's... Of all the stuff I've seen of the wizard, it's probably my favorite. Does a lot of damage. It's an AoE. It's fun. I think you get the idea of what the wizard's like now. So next I'm going to switch to the Barbarian, which is awesome. So we'll be back in a sec. Okay. We're back with the Barbarian, and this is one of my favorite classes. Talk to this guy. The reason why this is one of my favorite classes will become really prevalent as the second I start fighting, mainly because it is the most visceral class in the game, hands down. It's just their knockback and stuff. All their abilities is just meaty. Like, watch this.
Friends, I'm sorry. This must be done.
Like, just everything about this feels awesome. The sound it makes, to the impact of every hit, it's just super visceral, and I love it. Like, the guy's knocking back, oh yeah.
Forgive me.
Let's kill his wife.
Adric, help me.
Stunner. Hit her with some hammers. This is how we roll. Oh, like a boss.
I'm in your debt.
Adric, I need your...
You'll find his tomb in a
Okay, so...
in the Weeping Hollow.
Did I pick up anything
And
good there?
if you see my
No.
fool apprentice out there, tell him to get back to town.
Yeah. So we'll go outside town and we will kill some things. So, I guess what I do want to do before I do that is switch to my bash ability with the rune. Their new rune system is basically you get these runes and you can assign them. Like this one makes each hit have a chance to stun enemies instead of knockback, which isn't as fun, so I'm going to turn that rune off. Deals extra damage at the expense of knocking enemies back, and it's just, you get the idea. The runes just change the ability, and they also change a lot of the abilities' looks too.
This time. Stand your ground.
Gaining new strength.
I just feel so awesome as a barbarian. What did I learn? Leap. Perfect. Can we... Come on. There we go. Leap. It's basically charge. Awesome. Let's try out Leap. Barbarian runs off of a rage system a lot like a Warcraft Warrior or a Jedi Knight or Warrior on Star Wars, so... Jedi Knight or Sith Warrior, that is. Ooh, man. So good. I love the Barbarian so much. Okay, let's leap into combat here. Oh, yeah. Yes. You can't tell me that wasn't awesome. This is just so good. Just loot everything. You just feel like a baller running around as a barbarian. It's so good. Ooh, what's that? Protection Shrine. That's always good as a hardcore character. I do have to be careful of not dying. So, by being careful, I mean let's just jump in and kill everything. This is how we roll.
The ancients smile on me.
Yes. This is good. This is so good. See, now, the Barbarian, as you can tell, it's just way more visceral than the other, like the two caster classes, the Witch Doctor and the Wizard. So, hold on, let me switch back to my Cleave, because I actually really like the Cleave. It does a good amount of damage, and it's partly AoE, so. Jump into combat, smash up some fools. Oh yeah, this is how we roll. I don't have my Cleave ready yet, though. Heal myself up, just in case. You never know if I might take a spike of damage and die. I have lost one hardcore character on accident during the Skeleton King fight, because I got distracted because my dog walked in the room and looked at me, and I looked over at him, and then the Skeleton King came. It's really hard to say, and just whacked me in the face and killed me, and it was awful. So I think, once again, you get the idea of what the Barbarian class is all about. It's all about smashing things, just knocking people back, and if you just want to be that guy, you can be with the Barbarian, and it's amazing. Next, I think I'm going to show you my favorite class, which is the Monk, and we'll talk a little bit about that, so we'll be right back. Okay, we're back with the Monk. Now, there's a reason the Monk is my favorite, and it was because, as I said earlier, I played the Assassin in Diablo 2, with the expansion pack and all that. You know how that rolls. But the Assassin is basically the Monk. It's great. The Monk has many elements of the Paladin as well. It's got like healing and support stuff, which is cool. But I'll show you why I like the Monk. So we're going to come up here, and we're just going to own their faces as it lags out. So the Monk is really quick. The Monk is really visceral, like the Barbarian. So it applies the quickness of the Assassin that I really liked. It applies the awesome visceral combat of the Barbarian with the ability to keep yourself alive through plenty of support abilities. So, in my opinion, it's the greatest class. Except now I'm like bugged out on this. There we go.
I don't have enough spirit.
The Monk rolls off of Spirit. Spirit is basically regenerated by using your like main abilities. Like, I mean, 6 spirit per attack is what it gives me when I use that, which is cool. I have that rune, so it does AoE damage.
You seem troubled, Templar. Why?
My apologies.
You get the little Templar to follow you too if you're playing alone, which is cool.
And in ruins.
And let's kill some things.
But we
And by things, I mean barrels, because those are the main things to kill in Diablo. And you never want to kill the guys. I mean, it's all about killing the barrels, am I right? You never know what's going to be in them. It's all this gold. So, yeah, like I said, the monk is easily my most favorite, and there's a lot of reasons for it. But like I said, the major ones are the visceral combat and the quickness. Like I can just run in here like so, just totally own these guys, using melee combat, which I really like, plus the mixture of magic even. I know it's not magic, it's like weird monkey stuff. I don't even know what that would be, because I don't really play a whole lot of monks, but they made it really cool, so I like this class a lot. And I've got a charge, which is also quite awesome. Like so. Ownage. Healed up my Templar there because he was getting low. This is just super fun. That's the most. And I mean, you feel like everything just moves quicker. I do have movement speed on the monk, but for the most part, it just combat feels like it just goes quicker, which is always awesome. And I think when the game comes out, this is going to be my main character. I'm going to get it to level 10, and then I'm going to go make a new one as a hardcore character and just level up a hardcore character, which should be really fun. Especially because I never play on easy with Diablo, so I probably will die halfway through. This is how we roll. And I think you've probably gotten the idea here. One thing I did want to show you before I move on to the last character is the Scroll of Town portal is now just right there. It's now just a teleport. It's like a Hearthstone with no cooldown. And boom, just like that. Also, your stash is shared between characters, and so is your gold. The last thing would probably be best shown on the Demon Hunter, so I'm going to switch to that real quick and show you the last bit of that, plus our small little Diablo announcement, so we'll be right back. Okay, we're back with the Demon Hunter. Before, like I said, one thing I wanted to show you in town here was the crafting system. So, basically, you salvage blue items or better, or magical items, or whatever you want to call them, and then you get these like pieces of things that allow you to. It's just regions. It makes makes it able to you're able to make things. Just layman's terms, easy stuff. Like that requires level 11. That requires level 17. We can make a level 11 one. Boom! It pops out in my inventory. Awesome. And one level I can use that. So that's cool. And then you train it by charging gold, and it gives you different things. And as it levels up, the blacksmith area here gets much larger and stuff, and kind of like promotes itself. Like this is the rank 2 one as opposed to the rank 1, so it looks sort of different. But as they get more and more levels, they level up, and there's going to be other crafting as well, not just blacksmithing. From what I hear, I don't think they have them in the game yet. And then the other thing is the stash is shared between characters. I've got nothing in there, but if I put these in there and then jumped in on my monk, they'd be there as well. So it's kind of cool that you can trade that way pretty easily. So let's go here, and let's go there. Okay, now the Demon Hunter has 2 resources, not just one. And this is really important to know. Mostly because the Demon Hunter has these traps that I can throw down, like so. That big black thing on the ground is the trap. Let's see if I can lead something through it. Yeah, it's just that trap specifically snares and slows enemies, right? So I can, for instance, am I able to like get rid of this guy for a while? Be like, hey buddy,
I do not understand
beat it.
how evil walks
Yes,
in the day.
dismiss. Okay. It gives me the ability to actually show you what the Demon Hunter's all about. So check it out. I can put down trap, slow enemies, take this guy out. Oh, that's right. Summoned over there. Put down another trap. Now, in my experience, the Demon Hunter is really good at kiting enemies. And that makes it really powerful in hardcore mode because you barely ever get hit, right? So the less you're getting hit, obviously, the more you live. And then you get this other ability called Vault, which allows you to do this. So I can jump, basically. I can charge forward or backward based on where I want to go. So I can like put down a trap and
Not enough discipline.
come over here. Your traps and stuff use up your discipline, which just regenerates over time. And your hatred is your other stuff. And I was pretty much deliberately not using my other abilities so I can show you that. So this is your hatred bar. It fills up when you use this ability. So it's kind of like the monk in that aspect where you use the ability to regen, right? But then you get the ability to do things like this, right? And that's a channeled ability that just drains hatred. They also have other things like throwing knives and what was the other one that was really cool that I remember from back when it was first launched? Yeah, that one, the Chakram, is awesome. It's so good. Like I can't wait to get that. It's probably the best Huntress ability, or Demon Hunter, or whatever you want to call it, in the beta right now. It's so fun to use. That's just from my experience of using it. I'm sure there's better ones, but you know, that's my thing. So the Demon Hunter, like I said, is all about kiting, using traps, getting the upper hand over your enemies, staying away from them, not getting caught out, not getting attacked up close. That's always really bad for the Demon Hunter, unless of course they're wearing some pretty nice armor. Otherwise, in the harder difficulties, you probably will just get crushed because you don't take a whole lot of beating, really. Let's own these guys up. I'll show you what the kiting's like on perfect bigger guys here, so you can just slow them and just clicked off screen there because I am running in Windowed. You can just shuffle, right? This is the Marine Shuffle from StarCraft. It's basically what it is. You're just moving and shooting. You move in between attacks. That's the way I play the Demon Hunter, at least. There's probably a better way, but that's just the typical way I play. So now that I've shown you all the classes, and you've kind of seen, this is pretty much Diablo. I didn't really need to explain Diablo to most people. I think everybody knows what Diablo is. Now that you've seen that, I can tell you our idea, right? So, in the game, as I've said many times, they have this hardcore mode. And this hardcore mode basically makes it that if you die, your character is no longer available. They're completely deleted, they're not recoverable, they're gone forever. So if you put in a ton of time into this character and then it dies, it would be the most heart-wrenching thing ever, and you'd be so upset. And that's the brilliance of our idea. We want to do an LP, right? Just a normal playthrough of the game from start to finish with 4 of us. So me and 3 other guildies. One of them hopefully being 6-pounder. You may have seen him in some of the Star Wars stuff back in the day, or even in Portal 2 when we did that way back when, which I don't ever suggest going back and watching because that stuff is really bad. But our idea is to play through the game, start to finish, on hardcore mode, but not just on hardcore mode, but on one of the harder difficulty settings, not on the nightmare or whatever it is, or hell mode. Right off the bat, that would be like chapter 2 or 3 once we've gotten some gear, because we're starting from scratch, because we would start on launch. So that's our idea. I want to know what you guys think about that. It's not in stone yet. We haven't committed to it yet. We're still getting the details together. But would you guys be interested in us possibly going through and playing through on hardcore mode? Because if we were to die, right, this is the thing. If we died, that's it. That's it. That person doesn't get to come back on the show. Hopefully I wouldn't die, because that would be awful, because then the series would end, because you wouldn't have anybody to record, obviously. But the way I would work around that is I'm going to play a ranged character. I'll probably play the Demon Hunter, because I really like it. So that's the idea. And the funny part about it is, you know me. I sacrifice Bodar on Star Wars all the time just to keep me alive. I would totally don't tell these guys. I would totally sacrifice one of them to keep me alive in a bad situation. Say we're fighting like a boss and the boss is coming to me, I would vault towards somebody so the boss goes onto them rather than onto me. I don't care if they die. I could LP the entire game by myself. I would rather do it with people, and that's the idea of this. But it would be super funny to get these guys invested in their characters and then see their hearts just get crushed when it dies. It would be awesome. I don't know. Maybe I'm just masochistic. I don't know what this is. But that's the idea. So let us know what you think in the comments below. Also, this wraps it up for GLHF for this week. I hope you guys have kind of gotten the idea that this is, like I said, this is basically Diablo. There's nothing different about Diablo here except it's prettier, it's just better in general, and it's looking to be a pretty good game. And I'm certainly going to play it all the way through, multiple times, multiple characters, in multiplayer, with, you know, myself and all this other stuff. I'll be playing the heck out of this game. If you have any negative or positive feedback, leave it in the comments below as well with your opinions on whether or not we should do a hardcore playthrough, because that would be hilarious. And other than that, we'll see you guys next Thursday. As a quick reminder, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is usually the smuggler stuff, but the smuggler stuff has finished chapter 1 finally, and it's taking a weekend break, so this weekend will be general Star Wars stuff. I'm going to be showing you stuff from my bounty hunter, stuff from my warrior, maybe some flashpoints, hard mode flashpoints, stuff like that, just general Star Wars. And on that note, we will see you guys next time.